I'm talking to you in March. February 12, 2008. Georgia is in trouble. There's supposed to be the rainy season now. You're supposed to be having your aquifers filled up. Your lakes should be getting filled up with rain and snow. Last week was the first rain that I know about, and I was caught in that same system over in Harrisburg. They have a problem in Georgia that has not gone away yet. It has not been fixed by rain. I will make your skies as iron and your fields as brass. I think something is happening, ladies and gentlemen, and you need to wake up. You need to see what's going on. Smell the coffee. It's starting to perk. Something is going on in your country and in mine and in Australia. Remember the country that I talked about as being Israel at the beginning of this lecture. Amos 4. 2 or 3 cities wandered together to one city to drink water, but they were not satisfied. Georgia was in great dispute with all the other cities around it because they wanted the water for their cities. But the federal law in the United States says that they could not stop that water because there's mussels down at the mouth of the river that need the water to survive. People are dying of thirst, but we're going to save the mussels. Something is wrong. You got things mixed up. Here's the atmospheric conditions that tell you just how hot it was getting. Carbon dioxide in the last couple hundred years has shot through the roof. Al Gore talks about this in his movie An Inconvenient Truth. He's not telling you nothing you don't know. And I'm not showing you nothing here tonight that you don't already know. You know this stuff. You just have not put it together. 2005, the hottest year on record. Until we had 2006, which became the hottest year on record. And then 2007 was on schedule to be the hottest year, but I don't think it made it. Of the 10 hottest years ever, 8 of them have happened since 1998. Scary stuff. Something is going on, and are we aware of it? So what happens when you have hot weather? Well, we start to see crops start to fail. This is what's projected to be the temperature in the years to come. It's going to get hotter. World grain production, 1950 to 2006. Looks good. It's going up. A couple little dips now and again, but it's still going up. So everything's under control. But when we look at the world grain production and consumption, we have to look right here where it's crossed over. But it's crossed over in the past a couple times too, and we've recovered. Not a big deal. It's not a big deal until you read the headlines in December and in February. The headlines in December, when I started preparing this, updating this, we've had the biggest grain crop in 2007 than ever. So we've produced more grain than any other year. But we've also consumed more grain than we ever did in any other year. So much grain that we are now at 30-year lows as of December. Pakistan had a wheat crisis in January. They ran out of wheat. They were rationing it. Russia has announced that they are going to not export wheat anymore. They want to form a cartel, just like OPEC for oil. They want to do it for wheat. They want to play with your stomach, and they want to be in charge. Australia's having great grain failures because of the drought. Russia's having great success, but they're withholding it. Something's going on. You're having troubles here as well. Grain production per person, 1950 to 2006. Not bad. It seems to be fairly level, maybe declining a little bit. Not a big deal. But look at right here. World grain stocks, 1960 to 2006. See where that arrow's pointing? That's the peak. It's just before this period of time that I'm talking about, the period of drought. And it goes down and continues to go down. Something is happening, ladies and gentlemen. You need to be aware of what's going on. In 2006, world grain supplies fell to 57 days of extra supply. In 2003, 52,000 Europeans died from heat-related stroke or heat stress. I think it was last summer, Greeks had a raging fire race across it. Same year, 2003, Chicago had 200 die from heat. A lot of things are happening all around the world. Grain prices are going through the roof. Here are the grain prices that I picked up just this week. Okay? Coffee is up 20%. Corn is up 20%. Soybeans is up 25%, and wheat is up 22%. That's in Wednesday's newspaper. Something is happening. The farmers I talked to up in Des Moines, they agree with us. Prices are going through the roof. The grain farmers are getting rich, but the meat farmers are screaming foul because they're going broke. And I'm not telling you anything new here in Kansas. What's going on? Something is happening, and you know it. But now you know why it's coming, because it's being sent by Yahweh. They're turning corn into biofuel, and they want to change it from 10% up to 20%. So farmers are getting rid of their wheat fields and planting corn because it makes more money. So corn goes up, and the farmers that raise beef can't afford to buy corn. So they sell their cattle at loss. The years of drought, 2003 through 2010. Take special note that 2008 and 2009 is where we are now. That is a third-year tithe. Every third and sixth year in a 7-year cycle is a tithe year. It is not a third tithe year, it's a third-year tithe. Make sure that you tithe to the poor. Give it to them directly. Do not give it to a middleman. Do not give it to your church. Go and find the poor, the widow, and the orphan and give it to them directly. That's what this year is to be for. Remember that. Don't rob yourself of a potential blessing. So this is where we are now, and this is where we're headed. It's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. And we know it's going to get hotter because we read in Revelations that the sun scorched men and they cursed Yahweh. And the sun was also 1/3 blocked out. So it's going to get hotter. The Euphrates River is going to dry up. It's going to get hotter. And Leviticus 26, we now start into the third curse. If you will walk contrary unto me, and will not hearken unto me, I will bring 7 times more plagues upon you according to your sins. Another 7-year period of time. This time he's talking about plagues. This is where it's going to start to get ugly. And I, Yahweh, will also send wild beasts among you, which shall rob you of your children, and destroy your cattle, and make you few in number. And your highway shall be desolate. Make special note of that underlined part, few in number. The word rob in Strong's is 7921. It's used in just this one place in the entire Bible. Shakol, to suffer an abortion, miscarriage, make childless, lose children, destroy, miscarry, spoil, rob of children. We are talking about your children, your grandchildren, your nieces and nephews, your neighbors' kids. That's what we are now talking about. Yahweh is getting serious. The word desolate is Strong's word 8074. Shamem, appalled, awestruck, stunned, horrified, devastated, ravaged, astounded. You are going to be so stunned, so ravaged, so astounded and horrified at the events you're about to see that it's going to just blow your mind away to see all these dead young people.